Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I just read Hallowed by Richard Strachan, and it was actually really good. I've often heard people say that Strachan is one of, if not the best Age of Sigmar author, and for quite a while I've been wondering why this is the case. Yet this book revealed to me that indeed Strachan is capable of creating some excellent literary material. Hallowed is about a family of witch hunters, or well, family. The heavily truncated family currently exists out of Doralia and Galen van Denst after a cool vampire turned Doralia's mother into a vampire. Long backstory short, they now travel the lands together, living the Saltspire lifestyle. This all changes when Doralia wakes up to find a note from her father saying he left on a solo mission. She then sets off to find him and to help him on whatever mission he has to love on. Now there's a lot more to the story, as we will eventually also end up with an entire plot in the city of Excelsis, but I will stop here to keep things spoiler light. The best thing about this book, in my opinion, are the main characters. Doralia and Galen are members of the Order of Azir, which generally speaking isn't composed of the nicest people, and Strachan therefore also doesn't try to make them seem like nice people. Don't get me wrong, they are likable characters to read about, and their family dynamic is pretty wholesome at times, but when they gotta show their witch hunter side, they really do. From gunning down people in the street to torturing captives, there is little these two wouldn't do. Add to the fact that Doralia is a semi-functional alcoholic, and that Galen has obvious psychological trauma from his past, we get a great duo. I also really liked how Strachan keeps on pointing out how other people see these mythical witch hunters. People will shy away from them in the streets, drop their voices, or even quickly walk elsewhere. They are feared and reviled. Being a witch hunter is a dangerous, thankless job, which also shapes the mindset of our protagonists. There's even an arc about an impersonator witch hunter, which plays off the lack of information present in the frontier cities and the absolute power these figures can hold in society. Altogether, it is some very nice Order of Azir world building. But it is not just the witch hunters that take the spotlight. There's also an intriguing rogue that joins up with the Vendents, who is a very enjoyable dynamic with Doralia. Jel Morgana, the vampire who murdered Mother Vendents, also plays a role. Her wicked, soul-blind nature is played out very well and actually works as a key point of the plot. Not to mention that it creates some very interesting dynamics when the witch hunters are forced to help the figure they probably hate the most in the world. The writing style also does a lot of heavy lifting in this novel and is actually very reminiscent of Eisenhorn by Dan Abnett. Hallowed too features a lot of snarky comments, dark gallows humor, and badassery of a level only a member of the Ordos can provide. Doralia especially is amazing to read about when she gets in a foul mood. She does plenty of cold-blooded murdering, drinking, swearing, taunting, bar fighting, and torturing in this novel, often multiple at the same time. By the way, I would also like to point out that I love how some of these newer novels actively build off of the events of the campaign books. In this case, of course, the Siege of Excelsis is from Broken Realms. Not just as a cameo either, this siege plays a crucial role in the book in a way that I actually found really clever. This novel just has one weakness that really prevents it from being perfect, however, and that is the final third of the book. The part between when they get to Excelsis and the final conclusion is written very differently from the rest of the book. The other parts are heavily focused on character dynamics, they are very heavy on dialogue, and feature a lot of world building, jokes, and badassery. In this other part of the novel, however, these are for a large part replaced by bolter porn. It is like all the fight scenes from a conventional Warhammer novel have been extracted from the first section and packed together in these last 100 pages. This is a shame because it really causes that part of the novel to drag. It is still worth getting through that part of the novel though, as the ending more than makes up for it. Similar to the excellent opening of the novel, the ending is super epic, funny, badass, and satisfying. It is just this weird thing Strachan does where his writing skills suddenly drops to average for a while. Something I also noticed in Vulture Lord and some of his short stories. In the end though, Hallowed is getting 4 to 5 balls of firewater. Like I said, the opening part and ending of this novel feature a character-heavy story about two very badass witch hunters that I'm sure most of you will love to read about, especially if you like the heavy-handed inquisitors from the 40k universe. But yet the middle part descends to 3-star level bolter porn with only a few snippets of good dialogue or humor sprinkled in. Of course, this can be a plus if you're really into descriptions of massive hordes of zombies, but I've read enough horror books to be a bit unfazed by that. So yeah, definitely a recommendation for Inquisitor fans or people who enjoy seeing Excelsis doing what it does best, getting its ass kicked. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and click ringing the bell to appease the Great Horned Rat. For more lore content, please check my main channel and leave any book recommendations in the comments down below. I gotta get back to reading the next book.